Okay, Pisces, let's go ahead and jump right into your reading. Spirit, what do we have at the foundation, please, for Pisces? The Hangman, Pisces, that is your energy at the foundation. Let's get some surrounding energy. Pisces, I just heard very clearly, even within the current chaos of the world, you have never felt more aligned with what you actually came here to achieve. Six of Wands. That Six of Wands literally followed what I just said. Unbelievable. Six of Wands is an energy of victory. It's also an energy of there being some sort of success within reach. There's a personal triumph on the table here, Pisces. This message is rolling out so fast. I feel like we're right on top of the energy here. Let's go ahead and get the solar plexus position. Pisces and Leo energy currently on the table. What do we have at the solar plexus? Please, Spirit. Knight of Wands, fire energy at the solar plexus. This Knight of Wands has been coming out. I feel like it comes out in every single reading. But it makes sense because I feel that there's a collective of people that are going through similar but different kind of energy, right? It's an energy where a lot of people are really pushing towards these new beginnings. There's a lot of passion and action that people are implementing in their lives right now to bring forward the necessary changes to align themselves with, I just heard, your vision. Okay, so I feel that you have a vision here, Pisces. There's something that you've been wanting to go towards for quite some time. This Hangman, well, the Hangman is an energy of seeing things from a higher perspective. It can also be an energy of letting go. So you could be seeing things from this higher perspective and what it is that you need to let go of in your everyday waking life to align yourself with the victory, with the Six of Wands energy at the sacral. And there's an emphasis here on your connection with Source at this time. This imagery, I feel, articulates some of what I'm getting here, right? We see this sort of, well, it kind of looks like a desert terrain, and then there's this portal here which is showing you, right? There's the, I think that's the tail on the fish right there. It looks like you're jumping up out of the water with the moon, so it's all Piscean energy. And I feel that this is representing your ability to be able to navigate between the 5D and the 3D. Essentially saying that though you exist inside this third density, your connection with Source has never been stronger. And this is why you're pulling through this Six of Wands victory. This is an energy right here of somebody who understands that the victories in your life are found within that perfect balance between spirit and the material world. I feel that you're currently in this energy where you're mastering the everyday workings of your life. Now, what I mean by this is something here feels aligned, it feels systematic, but it feels very controlled. And as I'm speaking right now, there's an owl on my property and I hear him. I haven't heard him in a little while, and he's come out for your reading. He probably won't pick up on the mic, but he's very vocal right now. But I feel that you've done so much work on yourself, Pisces, that you are now looking at your everyday waking life in a much more compartmentalized way. You know, this is just another way of saying that you feel very organized to me. You feel very structured. There's something you're doing and it's working. It's like you have set something in motion here by what you have managed to sacrifice, or maybe in the process of sacrificing in your everyday waking life that may have been creating energetic draggage for you. Now, the Knight of Wands here, fire energy, is by definition from this deck representing an energy that has a full tank of gas. It's like you are ready to go. You are ready to charge forward. You have everything you need to pull through some sort of victory here. and you have the confidence to boot. That Knight of Wands is right there at the solar plexus. Both of those positionings represent extreme confidence. No matter how old, no matter how young, no matter where you are or what you're doing right now in your life, something tells me that you are making the absolute best with what you have. And because of it, you have never felt more aligned. Things don't have to be perfect in your everyday waking life for you to feel aligned. In fact, a lot of the times, you'll feel most aligned when you're going through a struggle, because that's when you're trying to connect to source, right? You're trying to get assistance to get yourself out of those spaces. So again, it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, how much money you have, how much money you don't have, how tall you are, how short you are, what you look like. None of this stuff matters. There's something that is telling me that right now you are in this energy of alignment. It's like you are perfectly calibrated with your higher self. And because of it, you are about to shift into a new timeline here. Sure enough, we have the Magician right on the bottom of the deck. So for those of you that know tarot would know that this is very significant, that we're seeing this card out of every other card after I've just delivered that message through, okay? This is you turning your visions into reality. This is you having all the tools necessary, everything at your disposal, which is what I just said here as well, right? The Magician is an energy that has all the elements: fire, earth, air, and water. The divine has supplied you with everything you need to bring through this victory, but it's all because of your hard work. It's because of your discipline. And some of you are going to be on different parts of this timeline, as always, right? There's going to be people that are just now starting out on the path, right? So if that's you, this is your message of encouragement. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing, okay? Everything that you are feeling is going to work. It's going to get you to your goal. And then there's some of you that are further into this energy. You're sort of navigating this space right now. And this message here is to cheer you on while you're in the throes of navigating this space. What do we have at the heart position, please, Spirit? Seven of Cups, Scorpio energy at the heart. And here comes the distraction. I feel that there's an energy either around you or an energy that might be trying to weasel its way back into your life that is going to try and, okay, interesting. I just heard that they're being used as a vessel to distract you by some sort of opposing force, okay? Now, the opposing force can just represent the forces that are in the universe by design to make it more difficult for us to get these breakthroughs, right? Essentially, when you are living inside of a certain space for so long, inside of a certain energy, and you're not having the breakthroughs in your life, there's these spirits or people in your everyday waking life that get comfortable with you being inside that space. So all of a sudden, when you start to break out of that space and you're pushing back against some sort of idea of who they think you should be, and you start shifting your flow to go in another direction, these energies begin to find themselves in a deficit. It's like they can't feed off of your energy anymore. Now, there's many different layers to that, and there's going to be many different situations on how that can show up for all of you, but this is very typical, okay? When you are making big moves in your life, there's almost always going to be an energy that is trying to pull you back into old ways. And you know, it doesn't always have to be external to you. It could be your own internal dialogue. It could be your own mindset. It can be your own behavioral patterns. You know, we typically put this under the umbrella of scarcity, a lack mindset, these sorts of things, right? It's like you could be working really hard to get a breakthrough in your life, and then in the 11th hour, you hear that voice begin to echo from the depths. No, you can't do that. You'll fail. They'll all laugh at you, right? We all have that sort of internal dialogue in some capacity. It's going to show up differently for everybody, but this can take us into the territory of shadow work. Maybe earlier on in your life, you were told something about how your life should look and what you will do and what you won't do, and you carry that with you. And now when you're pushing back against that idea of who they think you should be, you hear those voices from the past come up from the deep depths, right? And that's what this Seven of Cups at the heart position is representing to me. In fact, what I just laid out there was an incredibly detailed definition of that Seven of Cups. You know, the Seven of Cups can be an energy of wishful thinking. It can be an energy where People say, oh, you're just daydreaming. That's never going to happen for you. It can also speak about self-delusion, right? It can speak about procrastination. So all of these things are really describing what I feel you are trying to overcome right now. Maybe you're literally trying to overcome procrastination in your life because it's a byproduct of some sort of mindset that you're trying to eradicate from your field. But whatever the case here for you, Pisces, the fact that we're getting this here is showing us that everything is unfolding according to plan. Because what I'm seeing here is a great victory, but not before a distraction tries to come through. In fact, this distraction right here should be more of a confirmation that the victory is on the way. It's sort of like saying the enemy got the memo and now they're on the way, right? And that can be seen as something incredibly positive. It just really depends on you. Just a side note, these sorts of energies like we're seeing here, Pisces, they happen in cycles, right? This is the process of leveling up. It's like you may go through this now and then go through it in another few years. And the more you do it, the more used to it you are. So when I personally see an energy like this for myself, or I feel it, when I'm getting some sort of distraction coming through, I smile now. I laugh. I enjoy it because I know that once I get over that distraction, that breakthrough is going to be sitting there for me, and it's going to be wrapped up in a bow. And that's exactly what I'm getting here for you. So when this distraction comes through, whatever it may be for you, whether it's your mindset, the behavioral patterns, the person, the thing, whatever it is, face it and walk right through it. Because that right there is the final boss, let's say, in the game before you cross that finish line. And right on the bottom of the deck, the Fool, card 0. So this just followed what I said, okay? The final boss before you cross the finish line. And crossing the finish line is just another way of speaking about entering into the new season of your life, the new chapter, the new timeline, the new beginning, okay? So this confirms everything I just said here. Now, the fact the card didn't pop out and we're just seeing it on the bottom of the deck is telling me that most of you aren't there yet. You haven't crossed the finish line yet. What do we have at the throat, please? 6 of Pentacles, Taurus energy at the throat. Now that 6 of Pentacles follows that 7 of Cups perfectly because as we mentioned, that 7 of Cups was a test. It was an obstacle. It was a distraction. Now the 6 of Pentacles is telling us that when you overcome that 7 of Cups, a door is going to open up for you. A door that has some sort of assistance behind it. Now there's many different ways that this can show up in your everyday waking life. So you just place that as it makes most sense to you. But I feel that something comes through here unexpectedly. And I'm not surprised to see this, Pisces, because as we gathered already in this reading, your connection to the divine right now is stronger than it's ever been. And when you have a connection as strong as yours, doors open up in the most unexpected places. And in some cases, pennies may rain from the skies, right? Or rather, gold coins. Assistance. And this is all a testament of your faith, right? Your faith is what is opening up these doors. Your discipline is what is opening up these doors. Doors that may not have ever been there before. That's why faith is a magic tool. That faith can unlock doors that you never even knew were there. Because that faith right there is a representation of your connection to the divine. And when you have a connection as strong as this, anything is possible. This is when you can open yourself up to unbelievable miracles in your life. One day you may be lower than you've ever been, seemingly with no way out of your circumstances, complete rock bottom. But then the next day, some sort of miracle comes into your life that is a direct result of your faith. And this is very real. It's happened to me before. And I know that it can happen to anybody else too who practices the art of gratitude. And I think gratitude is an art. It's a way of living. It's a way of being. That gratitude tells the universe that you're here, you're ready, you're a vessel. Tell me what to do and I'll show up. When you arrive at that space in your life, anything is possible. It doesn't require anything. In fact, a lot of the times people arrive at that space when they've lost everything, right? We hear about this all the time. But however this is showing up for you, Pisces, something is on the other side of this. Well, I just heard temptation. I mean, there's the apple tree, right? And whenever I look at this 7 of Cups, it looks very matrixy, right? All these material goods here. She's got a full basket there. Just seems like she's very distracted. What do we have at the third eye, please, for Pisces? The Moon. I think this card came out for Gemini. Now we're getting it here for you, Pisces, at the third eye. So we have two of your cards on the table, Hangman and the Moon. Now, the Moon here at the third eye is putting further emphasis on your intuition, but there's also this very distracting energy around you, like all this noise. You know, this could be another side to all of this, right? The temptations, the distractions. It's like your intuition, your connection with Source is in opposition with the distractions around your life. And that Moon card is usually at home at the third eye and the crown in my readings, because this is the area that really speaks about your intuition and your connection to Source. So it tells me here that yes, you are very aligned, like we already established. Your connection to Source has never been stronger. But because of this, you're facing some sort of opposition. Yeah, I'm hearing a message coming through. Your faith being tested, but it's not the universe testing your faith. It's your environment or people in it. This can show up as, I just heard, you feeling like you don't have anything in common with people, right? Maybe you have a certain belief system and there's other people that kind of roll their eyes at it. Or maybe people think that you're weird because you have such a close connection to Source and Spirit. Maybe you meditate, maybe you pray, you know, you're here watching tarot, all these sorts of things, right? And you may feel pressure right now, like people are looking down on you, talking down on you, maybe making little comments here and there. And all I can tell you there, Pisces, is that it's not because they truly think that you're weird or there's something wrong with you. It's actually more in the realm of them feeling threatened by what you may know. You know, people typically feel threatened by what they can't understand, right? That's what I'm getting here. I'm also getting something around your sleep. You know, when we look at this card again, there's an individual trying to sleep. Looks like they have their hand up. And then there's all this noise. Yeah, it's like when you're sleeping, it's like you're receiving downloads from the divine, right? The Moon is just representing the subconscious mind, Source. But then there's all this noise around you. I don't know if you're having issues sleeping right now, Pisces, or if there's just something going on here. Yeah, it just feels as though something is showing up in your environment trying to distract you when it's time for downloads, when it's time for rest, when it's time to connect back to Source. There just seems to be something very distracting there. So whatever this may be for you, however this is showing up, try and clean that up as best as you can, because those downloads that you're receiving during these periods of time are very important. This is your mission statements. This is what is allowing you to have the breakthroughs. So of course, okay, I just heard intercepting. So it's like these energies create distraction, trying to intercept messages so you don't actually receive them. Now, this isn't really possible. Sure, people can create distraction and you can choose not to show up to this space because you're so distracted. That's the only way that this can prove to be effective on their part. So just take note of that, okay? What do we have at the crown, please, for Pisces? 5 of Pentacles in reverse, and that crossed the Hangman and the 6 of Wands. Okay. Very clear. And then the 9 of Pentacles also flipped over in the deck. I feel that this is, to me, this feels like where you're going. Doesn't have to be exactly this, but the vibe of this, the energy of this, right? Look, you're just sitting there by yourself, right? Just you and Mother Nature, you and Source, you and the divine. That Five of Pentacles in reverse is telling me that you're eradicating some sort of scarcity mindset, some sort of lack mindset from your field. The Five of Pentacles upright is an energy of a poverty mindset. It is the energy of a lack mindset, scarcity. When it's in reverse, this means that you've turned it around or you're in the process of doing this. There's some sort of new opportunities that you're going to align with because you're putting in the work to bring forward these changes. And the fact that it crossed that Hangman and Six of Wands is telling me that the divine has been giving you the downloads, like we mentioned, that are showing you how to navigate this territory of your life. Now, a simple way of thinking about this would be the divine giving you downloads on how to overcome a lack mindset, a scarcity mindset, how to get into an abundant mindset, and to effectively get that abundant mindset to start appearing in your external environment. This is what I'm getting here. And if there was going to be a card that really represented the abundance appearing in your external environment, I would say this Nine of Pentacles would be it. The Nine of Pentacles is an energy of luxury, stability. It's an energy of affluence. And to me, this looks like where you want to be after all of this. All right, what do we have at the foundation, please, Spirit? Ace of Wands, Azazel, at the foundation of the reading. Okay, now the Ace of Wands here is an energy of setbacks, okay? So this can speak about what's underneath the surface. This is the energy that I feel is boiling up. You know, I mentioned that these changes you're making in your life are redirecting energies. And when you redirect those energies, it can cause other energies, right, that may be in and around your life to feel at a deficit, like they're no longer getting access to something that you may have supplied them with. Now, this is just a deeper way of talking about things that you may be dealing with in your everyday waking life. So just place that as it tracks for you. But this Ace of Wands here, I just heard, is not going to let you go without a fight. Again, just to be clear, it doesn't have to be a person. It can be a mindset, right? As we know, mindsets are very difficult to break. I would say that mindsets are more difficult to rid ourselves of than actual people because it's something that's programmed into us. This takes time. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of stop and go and falling flat on your face and then picking yourself back up. And when you look through the layers of reality, there are spirits attached to these mindsets and these behavioral patterns. And typically, these things are always going to fall under one of the 7 deadly sins, right? The deadly sins are just umbrella topics with many other topics that fall underneath them. But a common one that we all know about is lust, right? There's spirits that are connected to that. The spirit of lust, greed, gluttony, all these different things. People who are addicted to substances, they all have spirits attached to them. In another dimension, there's a spirit or an entity that has some sort of energetic cord attached to that person and is siphoning energy off them by keeping them suffering with said addiction, said behavioral patterns, said mindset, okay? Now, without going any deeper into that, because that's just a topic that I can speak about endlessly, just think about what that may be for you, okay? And, you know, I just want to be clear here. I just like to say that we all have little things, right? We all have little things that we can improve. This isn't about calling anybody out, and absolutely nobody is perfect, okay? By design, we are flawed because we are human. And these are things that we are fighting with from the first breath we take until the last breath we take inside this world. It's just a part of life. So there's no reason to beat yourself up over anything. Just pinpoint what it is and pluck it out and keep working on it until it's fully gone. And I think that you've become very aware of yourself, Pisces, and I think that you've gotten to a point in your life where you see, yeah, I need to remove something here. I need to fix something, whether it's the mindset, a person, whatever it is. You can see very clearly because Spirit's been giving you the downloads. Hey, we got to get rid of this thing. Okay, we have the breakthrough here for you, but you got to clean it up, all right? Just do your best. Come on, let's get going. And I feel that this is where you're at now. And I feel that you're excited about this because you know what you'll have access to on the other side of this. What do we have? The sacral, please. Justice, Libra energy at the sacral. Now, the Justice card from this deck is an energy that does not want to take accountability, all right? So, and the fact that it's right underneath that Six of Wands is so clear. It's like the Six of Wands victory energy is only had by taking accountability, okay? So you can remain in this energy here, or you can take this victory. Yes, I pulled through this victory because I was able to face myself. I was able to overcome this and that, or get away from this person. This is why I have this victory. And I'm proud of myself for overcoming those things because, my God, it was not easy. And I want to show people that it can be done. If I can do it, so can you, right? This is the kind of energy I'm getting from you, Pisces. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Too many cards. One card, please. What do we have at the solar plexus? Temperance. Sag energy at the solar plexus. Now, this temperance energy is speaking about this outside opposing energy. Again, whether it's what we picked up here, whether it's an event, whether it's a person, there's something here, okay? It's like when this thing is in the equation, when this person, whatever, it just has a way of making the future seem bleak. It's almost like you can't really get a clear picture. It's like your long-term vision is very clouded. It's like you can't make any sort of plan. Yeah, there's something here that is influencing all sectors of your life. So once you remove it or get away from it, whatever it is, all sectors of your life will improve. Yeah, I'm hearing something about this thing, this energy, this person, the mindset. It creates like it's like if you're looking at your life through a lens, right? This thing puts this extra filter on your lens and you look at your whole life through this lens with the filter, right? It's just another way of saying that it influences everything. It colors everything, rather. I just heard it is a common denominator. It's always there. What do we have at the heart position? Right there. Wow. Seven of Swords, Aquarius energy. Now, this energy here that you're trying to rid yourself of ultimately leads to complete despair, right? It leads to a point of being completely broken down and feeling like you just can't take anymore, like you've had enough. It's a complete dead end of life, and there's a lot of regret here. You know, for some of you, there's a divorce on the table or some sort of separation here. Some of you are in connections that don't have a future, and the divine is trying to alert you of this and what you could really access if you turned around your circumstances here. And that message is coming through quite clearly with the Seven of Swords here, right underneath that Seven of Cups. It's like this thing you're involved in, or this agreement that you're in, keeps you in this energy, right? Sort of just like in the Matrix. Focus on everything that doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm hearing something about it being like a repeating karmic cycle that's just getting progressively worse with each year. I'm also hearing something about this energy leading you to a point where you feel like you have just wasted years of your life. And I feel that the message that we've channeled through on this top row here is the encouragement. It's like saying, hey, life can be better. You don't have to deal with this, right? You don't have to deal with this partnership. You can rid yourself of that mindset. You can work on your self-confidence. You can get rid of that behavioral pattern. You can eradicate that addiction from your life. And each one of you out in the collective will be dealing with at least one of those things that I just mentioned. And then on this side of the card, we have the Death card, Mumia. Scorpio energy, endings and rebirth. This is a perfect card to get here. The Death card is incredibly positive, especially at this positioning after that message, because it represents the death to all of this. You're done. And the Death card is the phoenix that rises up out of the ashes. It's depicted as a phoenix on some tarot decks. But it speaks about a whole new beginning and, again, a rebirth, right? Transformation. So this is what you have on the table here. You have a literal transformation on the table here. You can stay in this situation, right? The situation that leads to despair, or you can decide to transform your life. And the owl outside is becoming really vocal right now. It sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like somebody's tickling his foot. He's sounding really excited, okay? And he started getting really noisy as soon as we got to this point in the reading here. What do we have at the... You know, what's interesting as well, Pisces, you're also represented by the High Priestess in the tarot. And on a lot of the illustrations for the High Priestess, there's an owl dropping knowledge onto your head. And the fact we have the owl outside here says a lot, especially since I haven't heard him in a little while. And then sure enough, we're 4 decks deep in this reading, right? 1, 2, 3. And now on the 4th deck, we get the 6 of Pentacles stacked with the 6 of Pentacles here. Now, this 6 of Pentacles, to me, always gives me this vibe where you're showing up for the divine. Like, hey, divine, I've got some offerings here. You know, I'm feeling more connected to you. It just gives this energy where you're showing up to the meeting, right? And then it leads to this, and then it leads to this 6 of Pentacles here. The divine's like, oh, hey, thanks for showing up and sitting down and taking the time to talk to us. Here you go. Here's some assistance. You're like, thank you, divine. So that's a lot of abundance and a lot of wealth we have stacked at that throat position. The 6 of Pentacles is telling me that for everything that you sacrifice from your life right now that is not for your highest good, it will be replaced with something that is for your highest good. And I feel that it comes in the form of downloads. So it's like you remove something, or you remove yourself from a space, or you work on a mindset, and then you get a download and you're like, oh my God, I have this great idea, or wow, I think I need to go do this, right? That's how this is showing up. Sometimes the pennies from heaven, right, the gold coins from heaven, show up as ideas, things you can implement in your everyday waking life. It shows up as some form of assistance. It's not always very obvious to you. What do we have at the 3rd eye, please, Spirit? Okay, that's going to be too many cards. What do we have at the 3rd eye, please? 7 of Wands, Leo energy at the 3rd eye. It says right here, liberation, deliverance from enemies, both visible and invisible. So that's really highlighting what I said about somewhere in another dimension, some sort of entity, right? Or just some little goblin demon, right? Siphoning energy off somebody who's entrapped by one of the 7 deadly sins, right? This is you becoming more aware of this and becoming more aware of yourself, right? And when you sort of take on this kind of mindset, when you think about things a bit deeper, right? You start to think about the layers of reality and the different dimensions and the spirits that feed off of people, keep them in some form of suffering. It begins to expand your own mind. And this is when you find yourself cleaning up your own life. Like, oh my God, I don't want some little goblin and some other dimension feeding off of me because I just can't stop eating those 5 extra donuts that, well, let's face it, are not doing anything for my summer body, right? So whatever it is for you, this 7 of Wands here is you now cleaning this up. And it's right underneath this moon card. So it downloads from the divine, right? Divine's giving you downloads like, hey, you got to clean this up, right? You got to stop eating those donuts, summer body, all this. And you're now implementing these things. You know, the 7 of Wands, by definition from this deck, is speaking about you taking control over your life, right? You're not allowing things to go off the rails, or I just heard start traveling outside the lines. You're being very controlled with your movements and your decisions that you're making at this time. You're protecting yourself. You're loving on yourself. You're implementing self-care. And in doing so, you're beginning to see the breakthroughs appear on the horizon line. And I just heard a crow in the distance. What do we have at the crown, please, Spirit, to close this out for Pisces? Ten of Cups, Pisces, that is your energy, again, at the crown to close out the reading. So we open the reading on the Hangman, which is your energy, Pisces, and we close it on the Ten of Cups, which is also your energy. It says right here, Divine Warrior, confounds the wicked, brings victory and peace. Now, this Ten of Cups here is probably one of my favorites from any deck because I see this as your higher self, right? Or the divine. Here you are right now, and then here's your inner child, right? It's like your inner child is crying on your lap. This can just speak about the things you're working through, the mindsets, behavioral patterns, whatever it is, right? It's all connected to that inner child. And there's this calibration taking place. And the Ten of Cups, I would say, is absolutely one of the most high vibrational positive cards in the tarot because the Ten of Cups is confirming to us that whatever vision you have here, right, that is being clouded by this energy here, you actually arrive at. The Ten of Cups is the general picture of happiness. Whatever that is for you, you get there. And this right here is the process by which you do it. So Pisces, there's nothing more I can add to this. I feel this reading is very clear. It's very deep. You'll probably extract some different messages for yourself that we haven't channeled through here, which is perfect. That's the way this reading should be. So with that, we'll go ahead and leave it right here. All right, Pisces, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I would like to thank everybody for your continued support on my channel. Thank you for all your donations. I see them all, and I'm very appreciative of them. I am open for personal readings right now, although I am only taking limited spots. But if you would like one, you can find my email and website in the description down below. You can also join the membership section of my channel where I upload additional videos each month. I also have my online store at PLUTOBEANstudio.com where I have several items that I have designed myself that are all extensions of the creative aspects of my channel here. You're going to find some of the items in the sidebar as well of this video. But in closing, Pisces, I would like to know how this reading resonated with you. So drop me a heart and or a comment down below, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.